How do you feel about pineapple on pizza, Skylar?
Why would you put fruit on tomato?
Tomatoes berry.
Fuck you!
Oh, haha, I got you. You was counted.
I was counting.
Uh,
You tricked me.
you fucking...
You fucking bastard.
I don't want this.
Okay, I will take it.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Counterfeit Intelligence Podcast
We spread lies and misinformation.
For internet clout.
We back. We got news of the weekend.
Yep.
He's older.
By a year, I went around the sun. Yep, I had my birthday on Saturday. Fortunately, not all the plans that were made for my birthday went through because fucking shit happens, but I had a good time overall. It was alright. I got some fucking birthday money.
Ka-ching.
And then I got a whiskey smoking set for my birthday.
So you can smoke it instead of drinking it.
No. So you can put wood smoke on top of your drink. Flavorize it.
But it's not on fire.
You make it on fire. With
No.
a blowtorch. Yep. That's how it works.
He got voodoo witchcraft set for his birthday.
Yeah, I'm an alchemist now.
Alcoholist.
Yo. John, what'd you do?
I watched the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. How'd that go?
The game was a very defensive game. The Chiefs and the 49ers offensive were both kind of weird. They were doing some dumb shit, just simple rookie shit, both teams. The defense was kicking ass on both teams for the most part.
Okay.
So it's just a very long, kind of
Drawn
out game. A lot of flags. Dude, for some reason, the refs had it out for the 49ers in the first half and the Chiefs in the second half. They were
It's
just,
a conspiracy.
dude, just in the first play, there was 5 flags. It was like
I don't watch football. Is
first
that
possession. Yeah, that's a good number. That's a good number. I think at the end of the first half of the game, there was like 7 total flags, 7 or 8. Second half, there was less. There was like 3. They even had a flag in overtime. They went to overtime, and somebody got a fucking flag. Two flags in overtime, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like there's a lot of just stupid shit happening.
I heard that it aired on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
They downloaded the SpongeBob DLC.
Yeah. They paid for the fucking skin pack.
Yeah, for the Battle Pass. Fucking Nickelodeon NFL Battle Pass. Yeah, that's crazy. When I Googled where it would be streaming, nobody said it was going to be streaming on Nickelodeon, so I got Paramount Plus instead.
Yeah.
Which had a free week trial, which is awesome. Because they have a lot of awesome fucking movies and shows on there right now. They just added a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great. But yeah, the game was okay. Entertaining to watch. I wasn't very emotionally invested in either team. Some of my boys were. And it was awesome to see them like tear each other apart in fucking group chat. It was a good time.
Yeah.
And then what the hell else? Oh, the halftime show with Usher.
Yep.
It was meh.
Mid.
Well, it wasn't nothing. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't. I mean, I got flashbacks to like middle school dances, even though I didn't recognize more than half the songs.
I seen an interview with him.
Yeah.
It was on like fucking 5 Eyewitness News or CNN or some shit, whatever was playing at my parents' house when I was over there. And they had Usher come on, and the lady's like interviewing him. She's like, "Oh, do you got big plans for the Super Bowl?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna serenade them." And she's like, "How are you gonna serenade like 15 million people or whatever?" He's like, "Let me show you." And then he started singing shit to her. It was fucking weird as hell.
Dude, that guy gave people HIV and then tell them about it.
Yep.
Actually, I don't.
That's what the internet said.
Yeah.
And the internet doesn't lie.
Never. That's what we're here for, is to tell you the truth of the internet.
Mostly.
Counterfeit internet
Style.
intelligence. Actually, I think it was genital herpes. It wasn't HIV, but people were saying it was HIV. I'm pretty sure it was just herpes. Still
Pansies.
really funny. He took his shirt off during the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is his nipples pierced?
No.
Damn.
They were kind of like, they were like bigger than you thought they ought to be, but not like, but not really like pepperoni nipples.
Do you think they plumped those bad boys up before the show?
Maybe. He got down to a fucking sleeveless shirt, and I was like, okay. And he took his shirt fully off. I'm like, okay.
Commit to the bit. Take off your pants, too.
I get. For real. Be
a streaker.
He can flash around his fucking herpes nipples for 25 minutes. Janet Jackson couldn't do it for less than a 15th of a second. Free the tit.
Double standard.
Free the tit. It was meh.
Yeah. Did you listen to the lady give like the African American anthem?
No, I was getting buffalo wings and I missed it.
That part.
Yeah, I was on my way back. I got to the kickoff for it. Like literally, I sat down and they kicked off. It was fortunate in that regard, but.
So I was wondering if it was gonna be like gospel music,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't exactly remember what the name of that song was. Hey, viewers, could you do us a favor and watch our last episode and then comment on this one on YouTube and tell us what that song was? Ow.
How did you hurt yourself? Oh, man. All right. Well, today, we won't be lying to you. We'll be giving you some horrific truths.
Bad Trufus.
Yeah.
Rufus Trufus.
You're rhyming now. You want to tell them what we're doing our episode on?
Human experimentation.
Oh, yeah.
Human trials, baby, whether it be psychological, drug-related, or just fucking basically starvation, looking at you, Canada, We got some goodies. We got a lot of them in America, a couple of the ones from Nazi Germany, so this episode's going to hit fucking hard. And a couple from Canada, because those guys are assholes too.
And Japan. And Africa. We got
everybody
from everywhere.
All the continents where there are people to be experimented on.
Which is most of them.
Not Antarctica. Ain't no people on there.
That's not true. We got researchers there. We could experiment on them. One might say them living out there is the experiment.
No. I want to go homeless in Antarctica. I want to just end up
suicide.
I just want to end up. Well, I just want to end up there and be like, yeah, I guess I live here now.
Time to make an igloo.
And every time the boats come to like take people away, I'll just hide in like a snow cave until the boats leave, and I'll come back. Ah, you fucker saw it. You get rid of me, but no, you still have to feed me, motherfucker. What are you gonna do? Let me die here? Didn't think so, pussy.
You're gonna rob the researchers' resources.
Yeah, and live with them and use their resources for free.
There you go.
And in return, I'll help out around camp. I'll just become like the water boy of Antarctica.
What a title.
All right. Speaking of water boy, there's no transition here. Tuskegee experiments, 1932.
A group of poor African-American men with syphilis were enticed into a program promising to treat their bad blood. However, that's not what happened, as they unknowingly enrolled themselves in a program to study untreated syphilis. They were never given proper treatment for their disease, even after penicillin became available. They did get health care, just not the health care they needed.
Nope.
Yep. They kept them alive, but alive and suffering.
Tuskegee. They named all African American flight team in the Army Air Force during World War II the Tuskegee Airmen because they named it after them trials. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
When you say poor African American men, were they actually poor, or is it like poor in a sentimental type of way?
These people
didn't have any money.
Living large.
They weren't living like Larry.
No.
That's where they got syphilis. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to live like Larry so you don't get syphilis like these poor fucks.
Read the contracts before you sign them.
Did they have contracts?
I mean, it was like an official program.
Oh, shit.
They thought that they were going to get cured of their syphilis. That's the bad blood part. They lied to them. They're like, yeah, dude, we're we're gonna take care of you, bro. But
That seems
they
to
just
be
let them rot. You know, like,
it seems to be a
dead
common
ass.
trend with these experiments going forward, dude.
Yeah, it was wild.
Up next, most of these I think take place like around World War II. Also,
Yeah,
a lot of
I
these.
think ethics were a little different back then.
We were nuking people for fun. Hell yeah. Up next, the Little Albert experiment. Experiment carried out on a baby to prove that babies are blank slates. You can get them to do whatever you want. Albert was introduced to a rat and showed no concerns with it. Later on, he was reintroduced to the same rat, but it was accompanied by loud booming sounds that scared him. After this, Albert was deathly afraid of small, furry animals like rats
Yep,
and others because he was conditioned through fear.
exactly. They classically conditioned a baby.
As he developed further, he showed signs of neurological impairment and never learned to talk or walk, and he died at 6 years old.
Don't scare your babies, guys.
God, don't give the children rats. Apparently they're bad. Jesus.
And he died of some kind of like brain hemorrhage or some shit. There was like water pressing on his brain.
Good Lord. They
Yeah.
scared him so bad his brain bled.
I don't know if there was any like that was the reason, but like they fucked him up for sure. He did not develop normally, and they tested him on monkeys and dogs and cats and rats. Didn't matter what the fluffy beast was.
If it had fur, it was
He
scary.
was yeah.
Jesus, they could have tried with a dude with a beard, see what happens.
Oh shit! I'm fucking Chewbacca.
Unfulfilled research project, ladies and gentlemen. Who wants to donate their baby so we can get a bearded man to scare your child with loud instruments?
I mean, they did kind of show that it works to some extent. If he lived past 6 years old, you'd be able to tell if like it was ingrained in him, like into adulthood, since he died so young. Like,
I don't think they needed to perform that experiment. I could have told them right away that yes, that's the case. Spiders. When I was a child, I wasn't really scared of bugs or anything. Then I watched this movie called Eight-Legged Freaks, and I am terrified to death to this day of spiders. So I can confirm that this shit works to early childhood or early adulthood. You don't need to fucking scare a baby with
I did it
drums.
to an infant. Like,
That's not the. I was
you
like
didn't
4.
watch the spider movie as an infant.
I was like 4.
Yeah, that's too late in the developmental cycle.
4 years. Okay. Jesus. Manhattan Project clinical trials. You heard that right. The Manhattan Project, the same project that just got done nuking Japan,
Yep.
was now under the lead of a guy named Stafford Warren. These are public documents, so I can dox these people. He decided that he was going to conduct experiments on unsuspecting U.S. citizens to study and learn the effects of radiation, utilizing newly discovered radioactive elements like plutonium, polonium, uranium, and americium. It's like America, but
Americum.
Americum. Uncle Sam's cum.
He'll
Radioactive.
get ya. Yeah.
All that oil we're jacking from the Middle East is making Uncle Sam's cummies radioactive. I don't.
Little Bernie.
There's something to be made there. Some kind of connection. I ain't got all the details just yet. These elements were injected into at least 30 individuals. They had a separate number. Like there was like 18 of them were injected with plutonium, and then some numbers with all the others. Only one of these 30 people signed a consent form, and he was injected with polonium. One of like
Christ.
8. Yeah. And this was across the nation in Manhattan Project affiliated hospitals. I'm talking like small hospitals, big hospitals, hospitals everywhere.
Yep.
I seen them in Chicago, Illinois, San Francisco, Rochester, New York. A lot of wild shit happens in San Francisco. Just a heads up. There's a couple of these that are happening in San Fran. It's fucking Jesus. California's crazy.
They're solving questions over there. They're getting to the bottom of things.
I guess, but they don't know how hills work. Yeah, they were injected in at least 30 people between the years of 1945 and 1947. And the scientists that were involved in the experiments argued that these experiments led to new insights in the field of nuclear science. But then later on, people were looking at all the case files and they're like, well, I don't think that these tests were even like reliable because none of the patients were able to be studied in control environments because the trials were like super secret.
Yeah.
In conjunction with the U.S. Air Force. So they're like, how do you bring somebody into a proper radioactive thing and be like, oh no, there's no radioactive elements in your bloodstream. We definitely didn't put it there. That was kind of their thing. They're like, you didn't get to study these people like that.
Yeah.
None of them were one dude signed a consent form. And that's, I mean, even then, you got to look at the size of the trial. 30 people, that's not enough. The genetic variation in 30 people is like, you need more.
Yeah.
So we need to microdose the entire U.S. populace with polonium in our water supply.
That way the nukes can't get us. We'll be immune.
Jesus Christ. By the way, if you are drinking water out of your tap right now, cheers to becoming a government guinea pig. Is this our tinfoil hat episode?
No, that's next week.
Up next.
I did read about one that wasn't really like an experiment that was intended to happen, but they were bombing with the nukes in Bikini Atoll and people that were close by.
That's where SpongeBob is.
Yeah. We created SpongeBob with nuclear weapons. Anyway, but people living nearby got like dosed with radiation. They're like, whoa, and then they studied that population for a while too. Lots of birth defects, cancers,
no shit,
stillborns.
Makes you wonder if all the cancer going around in people's lives today is from government tests.
Microplastics.
Government tests.
DuPont chemical.
Government tests. Gay frog chemicals. That could be a band name. Ward 22. That's a band name. That's like a...
You could look it up on Spotify. It probably already is.
Fuck.
Anyway, Ward 22 was a military hospital in South Africa that subjected gays and lesbians to brutal conversion therapies, including drugging and electrocuting them while they were being shown erotic photos of people of the same sex. When this didn't work, they tried hormone therapies, including chemical castration, and then finally subjected 900 men and women to gender reassignment surgery after the electrocution and hormone treatment didn't work.
So you can't chem the gay out of them or beat the gay out of them, so what are we going to do? Oh, you're a gay man, you're now a woman, and you're straight. Checkmate. You got to admire the fucking logic loop there. That's like...
South Africa.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Apartheid. Cheers. Jesus Christ.
It did happen during the apartheid
era.
Yeah.
I got an interesting fact for you about gay conversion therapy.
Yeah.
It, as of last year, just became illegal in the state of Minnesota. Which means this whole time that gay marriage was legal, you could still legally convert people from being gay in Minnesota.
You could try. Yeah.
No, you could. Well, I mean,
you can't. It doesn't work.
It was legal.
It was legal to try.
And I got a funny story about gay conversion camps, too.
Religious exemption or some shit, probably.
Also, on the term of religious exemption, it's tax season, ladies and gentlemen, and you can opt out of your Social Security pay if you're part of certain religious organizations that have been a recognized organization before the year of 1950. I know this because I tried to opt out of fucking Social Security pay because I'm never going to see a Social Security check my entire life. So why am I?
Probably not.
Yeah.
He's not looking good for us.
Is what it is. Don't they keep pulling out of Social Security, the government, to like do shit for Congress? I think I remember hearing about that. We are the Counterfeit Intelligence Podcast, after all. We counterfeit our intelligence so that we seem smarter than we are.
Jesus
Delightful. Christ. South Africa, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
I want to do this one.
Okay.
Unit 731, the Japanese, as you so eloquently spelled it, tested biological weapons on Chinese civilians and prisoners of war, including things like anthrax, bubonic plague, cholera, syphilis, and typhus to see how they affected the body. They also did dissections on their subjects without anesthesia.
They didn't use anesthesia because they said it was going to like mess with the results of the experiments they were running. There's like, that's another thing that needs to be controlled for.
They need to be...
We're not doing it.
As objective as possible. I respect the science.
Yep. And they were doing this to people like right after they got real ill. It's like, oh, time to cut out your spleen to see what fucking the bubonic plague did to that shit. Yep.
Fucking with the bubonic plague. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And then there was there was a conspiracy that they spiked a bunch of Chinese drinking water with cholera after running these experiments. So.
Hell yeah, dude. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
They were doing some crazy shit. This was around World War II?
Yep.
And then we nuked them. Now that research is lost forever. Shame. No, I'm kidding.
They're not the only ones.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
No, the Japanese did some crazy shit to the Chinese. Dude, we helped. One of the reasons, not just like, you remember Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
That was a pretty big, straw, right? Mm-hmm. But one of the other reasons that we were getting involved in Japan, the Japanese theater, we were sending over a lot of American troops, mostly pilots, to train the Chinese, and fight for the Chinese and stuff. Maybe they were going through England to do that. I don't remember. China might have been an English kind of territory around that time. Don't remember. But basically, the Japanese have been doing shit to the Chinese forever.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Mm-hmm. And they've been doing shit to the Koreans and vice versa. And like, I mean, us being racist white dudes in America, we wouldn't think that all the Asians would hate each other. But Jesus Christ, they hate each other. They might all look the same, but god damn.
Human nature's human nature, baby.
Right.
I did say that the prisoners of war were like, there was Russians, there was Americans, there was all kinds.
Oh,
like,
fantastic.
If you were in the camp, you're getting tested on.
Bubonic plague.
All right, you're up next.
So also, I want to point out that superheroes and superhero comics came about around the same era. So I'm thinking some of these guys came back with some abilities.
Maybe.
Captain America.
He's just a fucking guy on roids, dude.
Superpowers.
Roids and amphetamines.
Hell yeah. Blitzkrieg. All right. MK Ultra should be a pretty well-known LSD experiment by the CIA. And they did it by dosing U.S. soldiers, prisoners in our federal prison organization. No, that's not the word. System. That's the one. And mentally ill children. Oh, yeah. Dosing them with LSD to study the effects.
Nightmare.
Cured is retardation. Mentally ill children. Well, it wasn't even like mentally ill. I meant to put quotes around it. It was like just troubled youth in state houses, halfway houses and shit. Yeah, for real.
Wow.
They're like delinquents. Oh, you don't abide by the rules? We're going to jack you up with LSD and watch you get violent. That was their whole goal. Because they were trying to study the effects and perhaps learn the secrets of Soviet brainwashing. Because Russians had discovered LSD for interrogation well before the U.S. did at the time. This was during the 1950s. The Russians figured out in like the 40s, so a whole 10 years ahead. They've been using it for a while. They were starting to turn a lot of POWs and shit into communist propaganda machines, or according to the CIA, that's what they were doing. I don't doubt that that's not what they were doing, but, I could also see the CIA saying whatever the fuck they want. But also, prisoners were the favorite test subjects for the CIA because they were the most legal to fucking test on, because they could sign consent forms and they would do it too for like extra recreation or like smaller sentences, It's like, why wouldn't you? What are they gonna do? Give me drugs and then see what happens? Fuck yeah.
It was a Swiss chemist
that had come up with it?
LSD.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Swiss cheese. So it's chocolate. LSD, they all go hand in hand.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of people were part of the MK Ultra program, like infamous crime boss Whitey Bulger, who was the inspiration for Jack Nicholson's character in the movie The Departed. Just pointing that out there.
You like movies.
I like movies. It was a good movie. He talked in great lengths about his time in the MK Ultra program, especially describing violent hallucinations, feelings of prolonged violence and paranoia, nightmarish visions. He talked about blood coming out of the prison cell walls and shit.
Setting, baby.
Oh, fucking crazy things, man.
Yeah.
Crazy things. The CIA finally was like, after all these tests, they also tested on this other guy. This other famous guy. His name's Ted.
Kaczynski.
The Unabomber was part of the MK Ultra program, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll get to him later.
We will?
I think so.
Why?
Or is this now? Did you write more or no?
No, I mean, yes, but also no.
Well, they also did another experiment on him in Harvard that wasn't just dosing him with LSD and like crazy shit, where they like had him come in, talk about all his belief system, right? Like, what are the things that you hold near and dear to your heart? What are the things that you believe at your core? What makes you you? That was the first part. Now the second part, a bunch of lawyers went through all your confessionals, picked it apart, basically tried to convince you that everything you believe is a lie and you're stupid and you shouldn't fucking believe this. You're a joke. Just like tried to tear you down because they were trying to like see how effective humiliation was or like that kind of shit. So he went through some fucking shit at Harvard. Watch out. It might be like a top tier school, but their ethical standards are fucking low if they're letting shit like this happen.
The CIA worked with tons of universities and colleges across the U.S. Harvard, notably. There's this other one that started with a V. Stanford. They did just everybody.
Yeah.
Name a college and they're like, yeah, I'll sell out my fucking kids for a check. You can't fucking trust these institutions. They're fucking out to get you. If you think they're not doing the shit now, you're wrong. Tinfoil hat moment. Probably. The CIA...
they still do have, like...
CIA contracts?
I don't know about CIA contracts, but they definitely have things where you can sign up for, like, trying out medications and, like, whatnot. You get money for it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
How much are we talking? What kind of drugs?
I think it's a risk profile.
Who's testing boner pills? Point me in that direction.
Okay, Google. Boner pill testing site. Directions.
Start. 6.9 hour journey. Yes. CIA did a lot of crazy shit with the colleges and stuff, testing on American students and American population people. Did it to some POWs, some like communist POWs and shit like that. But eventually, the CIA got tired on testing on regular people, and they started dosing their own people.
Yep.
In office. They'd be like, oh, Stan up in accounting, let's microdose his fucking coffee with LSD and see what happens.
Macrodose.
Dude, fuck that. It got so crazy, the LSD experiments, that eventually, in San Francisco, they opened up a whorehouse.
Yep.
And this was sponsored by a college in the area. I don't remember exactly which college it was, but it was sponsored by a college. They had college students working it, where they were pimping out these prostitutes that would lure random ass people in, dose them on LSD, bang them, and then like get their like social security information. Just crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
Get them to confess that they're cheating on their wives or they're doing tax fraud or, shit like that.
Yep.
It's fucking wild. And to this day, the CIA uses that as an interrogation technique because it was so goddamn effective. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude.
I didn't know that they were still using LSD.
Yes.
That's why they made it federally illegal.
Because only the CIA can do it.
Yeah. You don't want them to use CIA fucking mind control tactics on your neighbors.
I'm going to now. Fucking what? I'm going to get their fucking social security. Take their checks. Speaking of
So you're gonna join a church so you don't have to pay into Social Security, so you can dose your neighbor and take his.
Yes.
Okay. We've got him.
Yeah. Fucking government plant. Narc. Speaking of colleges and universities.
Yeah, next up is the Stanford Prison Experiment. You've probably heard of this one too.
It's a personal favorite of mine.
Pretty famous. Basically, they were trying to figure out what people would do if put in a bad situation. Right? What's that? What's human nature at its core? They took a group of students and they split them into two roles. The guards and the prisoners. And they were just told to, role play, essentially. Almost immediately, the guards started to abuse the shit out of the prisoners and become sadistic, which means that they weren't enjoying it. They liked making you suffer. They were doing things like having the prisoners stripped down naked and spraying them with fucking, chemicals and shit to clean them off, and verbally and physically abusing them. The prisoners began exhibiting signs of depression and extreme stress almost immediately. And it was supposed to run for 2 weeks, but it got shut down in 6 days because it just got that heinous that fast.
6 fucking days. That's all it took.
People are good at role-playing.
I guess. Dude. At what point do you snap and just I made this prison shank with a toothbrush and I'm going to kill this guy who's not actually a guard. He's just a student.
Yeah, it's just a student role-playing. That's what I mean. People got into their role, for sure.
Jesus Christ.
They were all being monitored, cameras and everything, audio, the whole nine. They just let them do shit.
Do you remember if the guards got to go to their dorms after? Because the prisoner students had to stay put.
Yeah, they were in a prison cell.
Did the guards have their own barracks, or did they just get to go out into the real world? Probably you don't want them.
No, I think they didn't go. I think they were locked in the prison. This is your shift. You're working here for 2 weeks, kind of yeah. So
Jesus, should we try one here?
Probably 2.0.
Yeah.
What would we do? We can't do guards and prisoners. That's been done before.
Rich people and poor people.
That already exists. That's just.
But this is a case study.
We make the poor people rich and the rich people poor.
No. Ooh.
And we lock them in a what?
Little cell. That was done. That was a little bit of Fallout, the video game series lore. There was a vault that had that happen. They took a bunch of rich people, told them, oh yeah, you get to live in the rich part of the vault. They brought them in and they put them in the dirt part of the vault. And they took all the poor people and put them in the rich part of the vault. And by rich person, I mean middle class. It's comparatively more rich. And they were watching to see what happened. Apparently there was a vault and they killed everybody. But that's a video game. That doesn't count.
Oh, that sounds pretty close to reality, I think.
Yeah. Good times. Nazi medical experiments. Here's the fun part of the show.
You could pretty much sum up most of the shit that the Nazis were doing to people into 2 camps. Either they were studying elemental effects on the human body for military survival, like putting Jews in hyperbaric chambers and changing the atmospheric pressure really quickly to simulate planes falling out of the sky, things of that nature. Putting people out in the cold just to see how long they'd last. Forcing Jews to drink nothing but salt water to see how long a soldier would last at sea. Basically any condition that you wanted to test for information on your military personnel, the Jews got to do it.
Hardy people.
A rough time. They actually argued so hard against that. We'll get to the next one here. They did a lot of drug testing on the Jews as well. They were infecting them with deadly pathogens. A lot of them similar to the things that were happening in
Japan.
In Japan.
By the Japanese.
The Japanese, yep. They would give them diseases and then try to treat them or not treat them at all and just watch and see what the fuck happened. They would expose them to phosphine and mustard gas, then try to cure them afterward. Doesn't work super well. They also tested antibiotics and whatnot and antidotes to poisons to try and figure something out for their soldiers in the event that biological attacks happened. But they also tested on a wide array of races. They get some African Americans, some Jews, some gypsies, some people from the Middle East. They'd run these experiments on them to try and see if there was a genetic factor who fared better. And then they ran propaganda saying that the Jews died the fastest. Their composure is dog shit. You don't want to be a Jew. Like,
they rolled poorly for Constitution.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Nazis did some fucked up shit.
Reminds me, there's a show called, it was a Walking Dead fucking split off. Fear the Walking Dead. It was based in California. The show was okay.
It's not the one that they'd play after every episode of Walking Dead, where they would just explain what happened in the episode.
No, that's something else. I don't know what they called that one.
Annoying.
Yeah. I was like, why are we dissecting this? We just fucking watched it.
Yeah.
But no, this was a spin-off show called Fear the Walking Dead. It was in California. And it was basically what happened at Outbreak in like the LA area and so on. And I never finished the show, but there's a couple of episodes in this one season where they were there's a group of military guys or like some militia call out west, of course, you know, and they were doing those exact experiments that the Nazis were doing. They were doing
with the zombie
race
shit.
tests, but not with zombies.
What?
They were just copy pasting the
Jesus
fucking,
Christ.
like they didn't already have the information. It was fucking wild. And a wild couple of episodes. And eventually all those guys died, spoiler alert. It's not a great show, though. Like, The Walking Dead was good for a while.
For like the first 3 or 4 seasons. And then things
until like season 6.
Super drawn out.
Right. I think up until they started...
It was like they weren't even scared of the zombies anymore in the late seasons.
Well, I mean, like, can you blame them?
It was more or less like you're scared of the people because the people were doing some heinous shit, which is fair, but like it lost its lackluster.
Yeah, it lost the glamour of it. The whole portion around a zombie show. It stopped being a zombie show. It started being a post-apocalyptic
thriller or some shit. Yeah,
which it is what it is. Well, we're talking about The Walking Dead. We got other experiments to get through, though.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We tangented.
It's okay. That's part of
No!
podcasting. We are machines, so we'll be very literal all the time. No tangents allowed.
Kill John Lennon.
I wish our college would dose us with LSD.
That would be fun. Did you hear about the baseball player that played on LSD? He was batting. Yeah, and they're like, it's a performance-enhancing drug. Robin Williams did a skit on that. It was so fucking funny. He's like, how is it performing-enhancing when you see the Indian goddess of death, Kali, pitching the ball without any pants on? And the ball is actually a testicle. Like, what? You know?
Helps you lock in.
Does it?
More drama.
This man hit it into a green sky full of turtles. Something like that. It was a good bit. If you get a chance, find the Robin Williams LSD baseball sketch. It's funny. It's really funny.
I'll let you get the next one because the other one needs a little explanation.
Agent Orange experiments. Dow Chemicals. What's Dow?
Dow Chemicals is a huge company that did some fucked up shit. They made like some of the crap that put holes in the atmosphere back in the day.
The ozone.
Yep. They're a huge chemical conglomerate. They make things such as like fertilizers and shit.
Agent Orange.
Agent Orange for the military.
That was a pesticide.
It was a lifecide. It was not just a pesticide. It was, I'm going to kill anything that's
Bioticide
alive.
or something?
It was horrible. They still use the byproduct that you'll bring up today in pest control.
Dow Chemicals and the U.S. Army injected prisoners with a byproduct of Agent Orange called dioxin, causing violent eruptions of intense acne pustules, cysts, and blackheads all across the body.
People
Agent
didn't
Orange.
die. They just got
Really
they suffered.
gross.
Like, yeah. Their body was rotting on the inside out, kind of deal.
Kind of like how my body does when I just eat pizza for a week.
Yep, that'll do it.
Cool. Jesus.
Yeah.
Agent Orange. What a fantastic chemical for killing people that hide in trees.
Raise the flag.
Tropic Thunder's on Paramount Plus, by the way. Just want to point that out if we want to watch a fucking fantastic movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie. Can't get away with it now, but
I disagree.
you'd have to start your own movie studio and like do everything independently. But.
Yeah. And then you could claim that you had no affiliation with Harvey Weinstein, and then it would be just sold.
Make movies good again.
No, you could do it reverse. You could do it reverse. You could get a black actor to do whiteface to play a role.
Oh, shit.
Easy.
Yeah, pull the Michael Jackson move.
Easy, baby. They'll call it that. Never go full Michael.
Never go all the way Jackson or something.
All the way Jackson. Never go Jackson 9. We could do that.
All right.
Desert Thunder. Desert Lightning. There we go. And it's like an Afghanistan war movie.
Desert Clear Skies.
Desert Overcast.
Based in Seattle, not in Vietnam.
No. That'd be good. We could do that.
All right. The next one is the Monster Study. This was a study that used children with stutters and children without stutters. And they were split into two groups. You had the stutterers and the non-stutterers that got good speech therapy. And then you've got the stutterers and the non-stutterers that got bad speech therapy, where you'd get belittled and essentially bullied by adults.
Negative reinforcement.
Yeah, for your fucking speech impediment. The goal was to try and figure out if we could give regular speaking children stutters or speech impediments, and if we could fix the people that already had them, right?
Okay.
At the end of the experiment,
Everybody
the only
stuttered.
thing that happened was the people that speaked normally, that was in the negative camp, developed lifelong speech impediments that they never had. The people that stuttered didn't get better. The kids that spoke normally and got regular treatment, nothing fucking changed. The kids with stutters kept stuttering, despite good or bad, like, speech therapy. The only thing that changed was the kids that spoke normally got fucked the hell up.
Hell yeah, dude.
These kids were young, too. They were, like, just learning to talk.
Yeah. Well, that's when you got to do it.
Yeah.
I was in speech therapy in elementary school, like, second grade. Second grade. My second grade teacher fucked me up. And I'll tell you how. So, we were learning the numbers. 1, 2, 3, and how to spell them.
Yeah.
And I remember the guy said, okay, the number 3 is like the word free, except spelt with a TH. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'll just put that in my head, that it's like free, but spelled with a TH. So it sounds like free. So I couldn't pronounce THs. It was always an F sound.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But only exclude, like, I didn't say the word the. I could say the.
You were like, fuh.
I wasn't like, fuh. No. It was, like, exclusively with, like, 3.
Yeah.
And through, and, you know.
Through.
I was like, through and free and fought instead of thought. Or something. Like, it was, but the word the was fine. And my L's I pronounced with a W for some fucking reason. I don't remember where that. I don't think I always had that. Like, as a baby, I picked all this shit up in, like, second grade. Oh. I started having speech problems in second grade. I don't know where I picked it up.
So you, like, pseudo went through the monster study.
A little bit. Yeah. My speech teacher...
Was she a bitch?
Was a dude.
Oh, was it?
And
was she a bitch?
No, we played a lot of games. We played a lot of, like, memory games and shit.
Yeah.
And, like, we played Codenames a lot. I remember that. And I don't remember exactly how we got better. I think it was just repetition. He's like, thought. And I was like, fought. And he's like, no, thought. It's like kind of go like you're making an S sound, but not really. And I eventually got it. I was like, okay, it was like smooth sailing. But I just remember because I remember going in. I'm like, this is not what my second grade teacher told me. He said that 3 was like free, and it was like with a th, so I should call it free because it's like free. That motherfucker lied to me.
Yeah.
But
I've had a couple conversations with a speech pathologist before. Because one of the moms of one of the kids that worked at the Y, that's what she did for her occupation. She had like a PhD in like speech and shit. And it was really interesting whenever she got to talking. She was more than willing to share. So, you know, it's weird how language is formed, basically. It's like, I think they're phonemes. That's what they're called. Phonemes are the things that make up the pronunciation of words. So, like, you with the that would be a phoneme, and we're like trying to
I couldn't pronounce that.
Yeah, we're trying to teach you the bricks.
Well, I couldn't even
build the structure.
I'm saying I couldn't pronounce the word foamine at the time, probably. I wouldn't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, they did, and they'd pick up. It's like, oh, this kid's missing this fucking piece of code, this block, right? This is the like words that he can't do, or the sounds that they can't make, and like, then there's ways to teach it, and sometimes it involves like teaching it wrong to teach it right. That's weird. But
like my second grade teacher. Good, we started on that. I don't know where the L's and the W's picked up. I probably always did that. I don't
You're
know.
Racist. You're just like off by the letter.
Now, if they were R's, yeah.
You're off the letter.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh shit! Like welcome to She-Walk.
Shit.
My speech teacher eventually became my fucking driving instructor.
What a turn!
Yeah, he did like extracurricular shit with the school. He was like a legitimate teacher. He was a speech teacher, but he did a lot of things. And you know what's crazy? Ever since high school, since I left high school, I picked up a fucking stutter, and you'll catch it from time to time. Like I never, I didn't start stuttering until I started drinking. For real, actually, yeah.
Yourself brain damage.
Maybe, probably a little bit. Yeah. Probably. That or my brain is too good now. It's too smart, so it just goes at a million miles an hour, and then my fucking mouth hole can't.
So you need Adderall to make your brain move at the speed that your words do.
Or is my brain moving too fast to my mouth?
Adderall.
Sure.
Pfizer says yes.
There was a Pfizer commercial for the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I heard about it.
It was so fucking cheesy, dude. It's full shit. Don't trust those fucking people. They probably put plutonium in our fucking vaccinations.
I don't know if you read this one, so I'm going to have you read this one, because I think you're going to go, what the fuck?
The shocking supposed... Oh, wait, hang on.
Kids.
Shocking supposed schizo kids.
That's not the name of it.
No, it's electroshock therapy for the mentally challenged children. Yeah. Shocking supposed schizo.
Well, read it.
Dr. Loretta Bender. Nice. Set a sensitive child in front of a large group of people. Then pushed on the child's head if the child moved. Okay, I can't read this. Your English is dog shit. You read it.
So she pushed on the child's head. If the child moved with the pressure of the push, they were presumed to be showing early signs of schizophrenia.
Wait, hang on. So let me get this straight. Okay, you're a sensitive child.
Yeah, I'm a sensitive child.
Okay, so if I push on your head like this and you move with the push, so if you go that way.
Well, it has to be in front of a large crowd of people. Right? Sure, right. Oh, no.
He moved! He's got schizophrenia!
She then shocked the shit out of him to fix the problem, and did this to over 100 children, the youngest of which was 3 years old.
So hang on. She's doing this to toddlers, and if she pushed them and they moved, she would zap the shit out of them?
To cure their future schizophrenia, yeah.
What? What years were these? What decades? Electricity was invented, so we're looking at the 20s?
If you read the next one, I'll start Googling.
Fucking, You're zapping kids because you shove them because you're an adult.
She just liked zapping kids.
Jesus, you don't know that schizophrenia is going to be a problem until you're like over the age of 21. By the way, just for clarity, it doesn't start appearing until late age in most
1987.
Cases. What? 1987? She was a doctor, and she thought that this was the case?
An American child neuropsychiatrist.
Sure. That's the dumbest fucking... She never took a physics class, clearly. She was a psych major, wasn't she?
She was.
Yeah, she was a psych... Never had to take a math class at any point in her college career. Didn't know how physics worked. If I push a kid and he moves, I'm going to zap the shit out of him because he's schizophrenic. What? Lady, you're a century off from being in the Salem witch trials, like, for real, as the narc. That bitch made a chicken pot pie without chicken. She's a witch. Fucking get her. She knows how to boil frogs better than I do.
That bitch put chicken in a pie.
Better at the steak. Fuck you, Dr. Bender, you piece of shit. She's still alive. Find her.
No, she's long dead.
She's 87. That's not that long ago. Die Hard was made earlier, like 84. Bruce Willis is still alive. She's alive!
No, she died.
No! When did she die? In 1987?
August 9th, 1890. What the?
Wait, what?
She was born in 1897.
She was born in 1897 and she died in 19... So she did this the same year as her death. She, for real, was just trying to meet Satan. Like, what? That's all. The Autism History... Wait, what? Go back up. The Autism History Project? Did she have autism?
Let's talk about her second. All right. You read the next one, I'll let you know what this says.
Fucking bitch. All right.
Her hometown was in Montana. Butte, Montana.
Butte? Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay. I've been to Butte. I think I was like 18 or 17, so I don't remember. Project KQ Hilltop. This was a CIA study that tested out Chinese brainwashing techniques to develop new forms of interrogation, including imprisonment, deprivation, humiliation, torture, brainwashing, hypnosis, and the development of various brain-damaging drugs. Probably during the communism scare, like how the Russians and the Soviets were doing LSD training. The Chinese were also communists at the time. They're not anymore. They're capitalists, no matter how much they want to cry about it.
She did her experiments in 1942. Not 87.
Aw. Still, that's a little fucking... Are you sure about that? Was schizophrenia even invented then? Crazy what people did to crazy people back then. If you were just a little off, like Skylar, I'm sorry. You're getting zapped, man.
Yeah, I would have been zapped for sure.
Right? I couldn't pronounce my THs. I would have been shot.
Or zapped.
Until I couldn't speak. Yeah. KQ Hilltop sounds fun. Is KQ Hilltop, is that like a branch of the MK Ultra program or no?
It was another CIA project as far as I know.
What kind of brain damaging drugs do they make, do you know?
She used to give autistic kids tranquilizers, Thorazine, and LSD.
Ketamine.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, this bitch is a playa. Let's drug children. Why are people testing on children? We got more children tests coming up.
Because they're in a different state than adulthood, you know?
So?
Development's an interesting time, I guess. Provokes a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Like, if I give acid to a baby, what's going to happen when it's an adult?
Okay. Probably like acid when it becomes probably going to sound its growth. Yeah. Speaking of children,
didn't send bombs in the mail.
Tad Kaczynski, is that you? They made a movie kind of about him. They took inspiration. I remember seeing a trailer for it. This guy was at a workplace, and this guy had bullied him in high school.
Yeah.
And he got a random letter, or this guy showed up at his front door. He's like, "Hey, you remember when you used to bully me?" It's like, Yeah. It's like, I forgive you. I was like, oh, good, because I'm very sorry about doing that. And then the guy started sending packages to his house. And like to other people's houses. I think he was bombing them. I don't really remember, but that's what it implied during the trailer.
Do you know how he got caught?
Ted Kaczynski?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I remember hearing about it.
It's crazy.
How'd he get caught?
He probably wouldn't have gotten caught, but he threatened like the Washington Post or some huge organization to publish his manifesto, or he was going to continue to send out bombs. And so they published the manifesto in a huge like news outlet, and his brother read it and went, "This sounds like Ted." He's using the same words and mannerisms. And so they reported it to the local police, who reported it to the FBI, and then they found his ass and got him.
This was before internet, ladies and gentlemen. You couldn't just Google his IP. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. Fucking wild.
Don't trust your brothers, they're narcs.
Don't publish your manifesto.
I disagree. Do you ever read Charles Manson's
if your
manifesto?
brother's still alive.
Did Charles Manson get his manifesto published? Find that. Wait, can we read Ted Kaczynski's manifesto?
Yeah,
it was published. Yeah. I'm kind of interested in reading it. I want to see what kind of fucking crazy shit he was saying. And then I want to know, because Mein Kampf was Hitler's manifesto, and that's a book. There's a copy of it in my high school, and they put it on the banned books list for some reason.
There you go. 58 pages long.
It's called, wait, his name's Theodore. That's funny. In 1995, Industrial Society and Its Future. That, oh my God, he's got an introduction. Keep scrolling. How fucking well put. He's got headers.
He went to Harvard.
Whoa, this guy's writ as hell.
Do you remember enough about the next one? The
First Nations? Yeah, I can't stop
right.
thinking about it. It was the last one I did research on. It was fucked up.
Alright, you tell him about that. I'll see if I can find anything.
I don't remember.
You son of a bitch.
No, we're going to deep dive this and we'll tell him about the First Nation. Jesus.
From what I heard was like...
How many pages
he was obsessed with the idea that once a new technology is born, the human race becomes dependent on it.
That makes sense.
And therefore, they start to forget the past, right? So it's like the moment that we learned how to make a microwave, people like became dependent on having a microwave and stopped learning how to make campfires or some shit like
Checkmate. We got air fryers now, pussy.
Yeah. So to solve that problem, the logical conclusion is to send bombs to people indiscriminately. He sent it to people that were like heads of technology, but he also like sent it to people that weren't even like they had the same name or an adjacent name, and he just fucked up.
Yeah, he's being thorough. Yeah.
No, okay. He wasn't.
Did he kill people? Did he actually? Oh my God. Okay.
People
I don't know that much about him, so
got severely injured. He was sending bombs with shrapnel, and the FBI had on a task force of like 180 people working on just trying to find this guy, and they couldn't do it. His brother did, though. Like,
Jesus.
The moment that the fucking shit happened.
He's got his manifestos published. You can find it online. It's 58 pages long. I think I could get an autograph copy of it.
He's still alive, and apparently he's an active pen pal. He will.
You can write to Ted Kaczynski.
Yes, you can.
Brother. Fucking NSA watch list speed run any percent. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, disruptions of the power processes and
modern society.
I wonder if can I get...
Does he have any sources? Titles? No, go down to the sources. Wait, can you what?
I was looking for chapter titles.
I don't think so. I don't think he's got it bookmarked. It was all typey. He does have sources. Holy fuck. This dude is like educated as hell. What? He's got a lot of sources.
It's a big bibliography. He explains his sources and shit too.
Oh, it's an annotated bibliography.
Yeah. Notes is what he calls it.
Wow, dude, this guy was educated as hell.
Harvard learns you how to spell and shit.
Shit, dude. He's probably a good writer too. He could probably write a book. He should write a book. Not a manifesto. He should be writing a book in prison.
Yeah. I agree. I want to read it.
Like Hitler did. John Cena. First Nations Nutrition Experiments. This is why Canada sucks. Icons of woke leftist culture. Progressive as hell is what we call them. Hell, their prime minister committed blackface. That's woke as fuck. These experiments were done in the 1940s and 50s in Canada. They were done on roughly 1,300 indigenous people. About 1,000 of them were children. So, it's, mostly children. I think the rest were some adults, some adolescents.
Probably more than that, to be honest.
Probably.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. These experiments were basically just forced starvation and malnourishment. There wasn't any real information gained out of these experiments that I could see. They were just looking for a semi-legal way to starve out the indigenous people in the 40s and 50s.
Food is expensive back then.
Apparently. And you can blame the now Health Canada is the name of the organization. I don't know if it's a company or if it's a government thing.
It's probably a government agency.
It went by a different name back then, but it's now Health Canada, so fucking...
Definitely an agency.
You know that.
Yeah.
And you can also blame the Canadian Department of Indian Affairs. Most of the scientists and researchers were from there doing this shit. Plus the Canadian Royal Air Force and the Hudson Bay Company. I don't have those wrote down, but they all were fucking complicit in these malnourishment experiments. They were just starving kids, man. They were trying to find what vitamins and minerals were important for human growth. Did you know that vitamins weren't discovered until 1912? So they've been working on vitamins for about 30, 40 years around this time. So I give them that. They don't fully, understand at this point. But they weren't feeding them different vitamins. They weren't not giving them certain ones. They just stopped feeding these people.
Yo.
They weren't even doing vitamin shit. They just stopped feeding them altogether. Some of them got less food. Some of them didn't get any food. Kids in school. The schools were in on it. The government was paying schools. They were cutting schools all across the country check to stop giving indigenous students food, for fuck's sake. Like, dude, no, go back up. I got more, motherfucker. The Canadian government was very goddamn aware of this and even encouraged it, and they would cut funding to schools that didn't want to participate.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. They were like, no, you need to starve the Indian kids. You have to do this or nobody's getting food.
Jesus Christ.
Canada nice my ass, dude. Fuck Canada. Canada sucks. Yeah. Anyone who says that Canada's better than the U.S., fuck you. We don't starve our kids. We just make them homeless and drug addicts. There's a difference. At least they eating. Fucking Canada. I seen a whole memorial type museum thing in and I was in Alaska in Fairbanks, the University of Fairbanks Museum, I think. They had a whole thing, it was brand new at the time, whole thing on the Canadian government's experiments on indigenous peoples. And a lot of them migrated from Canada to Alaska where they weren't getting fucking experimented on. Yeah. Fucking crazy. Well, not by the U.S. When Russia owned Alaska at the time, they were also doing some crazy shit to the native peoples. I guess apparently the Alaskans say that they treat them nicer. I don't, know for sure. But that's what the museum was saying. Better than the Canadians and the Russians, which is fucking saying something.
Yeah,
Fuck
I know. At one point in time, I was listening to the Jordan Peterson podcast, and every once in a while, he'd have this guy on who was a native guy that grew up in one of the residential schools.
That's where
he would just talk about.
Getting cut. Yeah.
Yeah, he would talk about his experience there and how like sometimes you would be in a school with Indians and like regular people.
Yeah.
But like,
why'd you word it that way? Regular people,
Canadians,
as
non-Native Americans, the rest normal of the folk, populace,
unburdened.
Like the treatment wasn't the same whatsoever, and they would talk about how they're still finding bodies at these residential schools because they'd like accidentally kill one and then just we'll dig a trench, you know.
Fucking Canada.
Right.
They are like federal run schools too.
Yep,
They're not like run by the local. It's the Canadian government's actively starving children right now. Right now they're doing this. This shit didn't come to light until 2013.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Canada is fucking starving kids.
That's wild.
The next time I hear some woke ass liberal saying Canada's better than the US because they have better transgender laws, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah? They're starving children right now. Fucking, you want to see it? No, if they just released fucking Crown Royal Maple, I'll forgive them of their sins. But no, they gotta keep the Crown Royal Maple to themselves. Not importing it to the U.S. Fuck you, Canada.
You gotta make it yourself.
There's some, I mean, you can still get maple whiskey here, easy, but Crown Royal Maple.
Get Crown Royal regular, and then some maple syrup, and just go.
Can you do that motion for me again? Can you like have your mouth open when you do it? Oh yeah. Audio only listeners, you missed a treat. Let me tell you. This is a pretty heavy episode. We got to keep it a little light though.
We were trying.
Up next, the forced sexual reassignment experiments in 1965.
It was more or less just like one guy that this happened to, but it's pretty wild. In 1965, David Reamer had his penis destroyed during a circumcision by cauterization. He had his dick burnt off. Okay.
They must have been the Subway Jews.
Perhaps.
Can I say that?
You already did. So after that happened, his parents let a psychologist in Canada named John Money, who believed that gender is learned, convince David that he was a girl all the way through his upbringing. Like, they dressed him in female clothes. They talked to him in female terms. Like,
but his name was David.
Well, that was his birth name. I don't know. They might have changed it or whatever. But they
I
were
wonder
basically...
what his lied to name was.
Yeah. But basically, they just tried to fabricate this whole situation to convince this kid that he was a female and not a male.
Because they fucked up his penis cutting of the foreskin.
Yep. The psychologist touted the experiment as a success, but David insisted that he never identified as a girl. He was bullied during his childhood, felt deeply depressed, and opted to kill himself at 38 years old.
Gang, gang, that's what's up. What a trooper making it to 38 before. Jesus.
He shot himself in the head. Yo.
Fucking trooper. Good Lord. That's why you don't trust doctors. Don't go to the hospital.
Especially crackpots that are like, I got an idea.
Even better, don't get circumcised.
Especially not with fire.
The devil wants your foreskin. Don't let him have it. No. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. There was a song that I seen on TikTok. It was like a parody song. But it's like, you know, that song where it's like, I got one thing to say, 3 words, and then it's like a counting thing in the song. He was like, I've got 1 skin, 2 skin, 3 skin, but where's my foreskin?
God, taken from you as a child. You never had the option to keep it. You ever see what's that movie? Fucking Meet the Fockers?
Yeah,
where they like, this is his foreskin. They kept it.
Dude,
That's such a good fucking movie,
dude. Frame it, put that shit on the wall.
You would frame your foreskin?
Yeah, dude.
You know what I would do?
Make it into a tiny lamp or something.
You know what I would do?
Tell me.
I would buy a Toyota 4Runner and then change the letters on the back to foreskin, and then the badge would be my foreskin.
There you go.
Like encased in resin. If I still had mine somewhere lurking. You ever find your fucking birth certificate, Skylar? No.
Yeah, I've had to show it for like legal reasons.
You know what time you were born?
No.
12:54 p.m.
Nice.
It's an afternoon, baby.
I think that was nighttime. I might have been later than that. I think it was like in the AMs. But I don't know for sure.
I had to make my mom wake up early.
Yeah.
Give birth to me. If I remember that right, unless it said 12:54 a.m. I know it was like 12:54 though.
Wild.
Dilate Sharon.
That's okay.
Pull up our assets. Do it.
What? We still have to.
Oh my
Make
god, I
our
totally
own.
forgot. Yeah. I was like, all right, we're done. Hour and 10 minutes. We're over.
We are over.
We gotta make our own social experiment or psychological, whatever.
Human experience.
Human experiment. And are we gonna do you make one, I make one, we compare, or like
Yeah,
how we
sure,
doing this?
sure.
Okay. You go first.
Okay. I think we use modern science to do experimentation on people. And I'm talking like gene editing, right? Like we just take some fucking downtrodden people that won't say no.
Gene
Right.
Hacker Man.
Yeah. And we like try to give them fucking powers, right? Like we try to bring superpowers to this reality. We start crossing them with like fish. We start crossing them with fucking elephants.
Aquaman.
Right, yeah. Like, we're just trying to see if we can make fucking human hybrids of shit out of people that already exist.
Oh yeah, that's called incest.
Well, maybe we'll get some incest children and we'll put some fucking zebra DNA in their ass.
You need me to call the UK, the royal family?
Yeah. We need a pure bloodline. Something consistent.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, let it be known. I just had a crazy thought about this. Are you in the middle of it, or are you like?
No, that was pretty much it.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Crazy thought.
Yep.
The Bible talks about Adam and Eve, right?
Yeah.
Okay. First two humans. This is gonna get kind of weird. Buckle up. Just had a thought. If they were the only two humans on the earth, that means when they had children, one of the parents had to diddle the children to make more children, or the children had to diddle each other
Probably
to make
that
more
one.
children.
Yeah.
Which means we're all incest babies.
Yeah, we're all related.
Which means that if God created us in His image, we are the incest version of whatever He was, if you're religious. Which means that we don't actually look like God. I think He is a Roblox character, and we fucked up. God is a woman. No.
You gotta be careful. You're walking on a road that's getting Alabama real happy right now.
Yeehaw! I can already hear the Confederate flag. They're fucking whistling Dixie Anthem or whatever the fuck. The Dixie Chicks. Do you know the Dixie Chicks wanted to turn their name into just the Chicks? Because chicks with dicks. No, because Dixie is like associated with the Confederate South, and they're like, ew.
Oh,
No.
I didn't realize that. I was thinking Dixie cups.
For real, right? Yeah. Oh, Dixie Chicks. They drink out of them little fucking paper shits. Nope. They're racist.
Oh man.
My experiment
Yeah,
is like
what
the
is your-
Stanford prison experiment, except it's called the Harvard whorehouse experiment, where we take the sluttiest chicks on campus and then lock them in a room together and then film it.
Oh,
That's it.
shit.
See how long it takes for them to procreate. You're welcome.
Pornhub's most viewed video.
I already told you I could be a director. Easy. I know what the people want.
Educated whores locked in a room.
I'll have a breakdown. I'll have some like anatomy professional talking about everything that's happening while there's a video and the models are doing their thing in the background.
You're gonna have a narrator.
I'll have that, and I'll have sports commentary, live commentary.
Number 4 is eating that ass,
dude. And then I'm also gonna have a fucking deaf person's translator.
Oh, gang signs.
Yeah, fucking. That's what's up. Yes, sir. I'm progressive.
Yeah, the deaf are in a gang. That's progressive.
You know what sucks about deaf people the most?
Tell me, John.
They can't watch these videos and be entertained by our voices, Skylar. They can't find us on YouTube at Counterfeit Intelligence, Proper Grammar.
They also can't find us on Twitter.
They don't know how to spell. Deaf people aren't real.
Counterfeit Intelligence, Regular Grammar, or handle CIPod Official with capital C's, I's, P's, and O's.
Deaf people can't enjoy us on Facebook. Oh, wait, no, we don't post videos to Facebook. Sometimes. They can't watch them, though. They can read. Can deaf people read?
I assume so.
Ellen Keller was a liar. And if you believe that too, you can find us on Instagram. Counter Intel Podcast, all lowercase, no spaces.
Ellen Keller was a liar, and she doesn't know what the fuck TikTok is.
Do you think she knew she died?
No.
How would she have experienced death?
The fucking static behind her eyes slowly faded away. TikTok, Counterfeit Intelligence, all lowercase, no spaces.
Watch this video and enjoy it. Or I'll fucking... No, I can't say. I was going to say some crazy shit related to Ted Kaczynski. Can't say that. I'm being filmed.
I'll send boxes to your house.
Yeah. You better open them or they're not going to work. Show us to your friends. Mail tapes of us in boxes to your neighbors.
Convert this to VHS somehow.
8-track tapes are coming back. The aliens are real. Elvis was a lie, and Michael Jackson was always right. White.
Both statements are true.
He was white and right. Those kids had it coming. The best part is the people that watch the beginning half of this video who are like, oh, this is boring, it's educational, aren't going to notice the last 10 minutes of this. Fuck you if you click off this video right away. You need to watch till the goddamn end. And if you're driving to work right now and you manage to go through all this and you're not suicidally depressed or are a fire marshal that shuts down food trucks, fuck you.
All right.
That's all I had to say.
Thanks for watching. Feel free to interact on our socials. Send this to your friends and whatnot. Goodbye. Peace out.
How do you feel about pineapple on pizza, Skylar?
Why would you put fruit on tomato?
Tomato's berry.
Fuck you!